Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So every week I like to release at least one or two videos where I help all of you save yourselves from art block. And I like to do this by what's called scribbling. It's nothing new. We've all scribbled in our lives before, especially learning how to draw and doodling on homework. You get an envelope in the mail and you start putting little scribbles here and there. Can't tell you how many times I've sat and just taken out a piece of notebook paper as I'm talking on the phone to somebody that I don't want to talk to, and I just go, and then end up drawing a really good picture because of it. So we tend to doodle when we least expect it. Those of you out there right now watching this video suffering from art block, or maybe you have you're in a creative rut, I guess you could say. This thumbnailing method that I'm about to teach you can really help you solve that problem and also ease your mind. Thumbnail sketching is all about easing the mind. You can see here that I'm just throwing lines together. I have no set image in my head of what I want to put down. All I know is that the single act of drawing is what is therapeutic. It's just getting the lines out. It's coming home from a hard day's work, or maybe you have some really hard things that you're dealing with in life. Maybe you're going through a breakup, maybe you're going through financial trouble, family fighting, even a death in the family, who knows. A lot of times we need to find an outlet. Drawing, I'm happy to say, and I can definitely advocate for this, is probably one of the healthiest things that you can do. You know, weather permitting, you can go outside and take a walk too, but also, you know, if you're feeling really down in the dumps, just go outside and just draw nature. Now that the weather's getting a little nicer, it being nearing April, you know, it's going to start getting warmer. You can go to the parks and just sit and enjoy it. Sit at a cafe, park bench, or just in the grass and just start drawing. Plein air drawing is awesome. Painting too. But what I'm doing here is I'm just letting the pen just do the work for me. I'm not thinking too hard about this at all. I'm finding little shapes here and there that I do enjoy. You know, I'm a creature designer, so obviously I'm going to be designing creatures, but hey, you know what? It's probably one of the funnest things to draw and the most rewarding because you have a lot of creative freedom drawing critters. That's why I love it so much. I'm going to try not to spend too much time on this, but I'll show you how to be orderly. And let's talk about this message up here. Stop procrastinating. So aside from allowing yourself to heal from whatever you're going through, you know, with drawing being a therapeutic tool, it also means if you have a sketchbook collecting dust and you know you need to be drawing on it, but you keep putting it off because you're lazy, you're scared, you don't have any good ideas, you don't have any ideas at all, I want you to scrap all of that thinking, and I want you to pick up the pencil, pick up the pen. It doesn't matter what tool, I don't care. Mechanical pencil, repeatograph, Sharpie, ballpoint pen, your child's second grade 2B pencil they used for school today. Like, it doesn't matter. And I want you to start scribbling. When I mean scribbling, I don't mean to look at the paper and go, okay, well, I'll just quickly draw a dog with spike. Like, no. Throw lines together like this. Now, the first thing to do is to lightly press and make those gestural lines. Okay, if you're wondering what gesture sketching is, it's mainly used in figure drawing. It's capturing the human form while in motion and doing it within a specific time frame. That's gesture. Well, we're kind of drawing, well, no, actually we're not drawing humans. We're drawing critters and creatures and weird flying spaceships, but you're doing it quickly. Now, if you wanted to time yourself while drawing these scribbles, I would say give yourself 3 to 5 minutes. Just 3 to 5 minutes, and you could potentially do something really cool for your paper. So after you get these drawings in, these little shapes here and there, I'm putting some wings in, probably looks like a little dragon. Don't worry too much about certain features of your creature features. All right, so for example, I put some wings on this one, and instead of obsessing about the wings looking perfect and trying to, remember all of the cool dragon movies I've seen and all the vampire movies I've seen where they've shown it in bat form, like, no, none of that matters. In creatures, we don't know what's out there. You have a lot more creative freedom in creatures than you do humans, because we see each other every day. And humans exist. These things do not exist. At least on this planet, they don't. So, you don't have to follow any rules per se. And also, I'm sketching these things without really worrying about being anatomically correct and symmetrical. I'm just kind of throwing some shapes together. Do you see how all these tiny little markings going back and forth, pressing lighter, pressing medium hard, and then pressing very lightly, it's forming a texture. Instead of me going in and painstakingly doing little hair marks and scales and stuff. We don't need to do that. All we need to do is throw these scribbles down, and by the overlapping shapes, they will form into something that you did not expect. I didn't expect to draw this thing. Okay? What I did expect to do was just allow my mind to think freely. See, look at that wing. Like this wing is not symmetrical to this one. It looks like two different wings. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I don't care. What's cool about that, what's cool about not caring when it comes to thumbnailing, is that you can always come back to these. You can always come back to these and be like, you know what? Since I have 3 of them over here, I kind of like number 2. Like, let's number these. 1, 2, 3. I'm also going to come back to, I think, this first shape and add some more little doodles in here. Not really knowing what's going to happen to that, but let's see if we can make some shapes look almost like alien lattice work. It'd be kind of cool. Some kind of strange honeycomb structure. I always thought honeycomb structures look really neat when it comes to aliens and sci-fi, just because of the different spaceships that you can invent and hollowed out look. This is pretty neat. I don't know about legs or anything. I don't even know if this is a creature anymore, but whatever it is, it's definitely a structure. Maybe it's a, you know what? Here, let's put a little person in there, just for scale. Maybe it's a little hut, and this person is traveling along a strange alien, landscape, and then they come across this strange structure, and they want to go in it. They can't necessarily find the door, but they're looking at these honeycomb shapes and going, you know what? Maybe if I walk inside there, I could be able to find some kind of an entrance. Maybe there's like a power source in there or there's food. I don't know. Maybe this person's searching for their loved one or their long lost friend that went missing after the ship crashed. Who knows what happens. Hey, let's move on. See, this is the power of scribbling. So hopefully you guys have grabbed your sketchbooks by now and you're starting to doodle along with me. It's so much fun. Comment below and let me know if this is working for you. I really like reading the comments to where it helped people out. It motivates me to keep making videos like this. I know I make a lot of thumbnail videos, and for better or for worse, I know a lot of you see the same type of stuff that I draw, but it's also reaching new people, and I want to keep this method up because a lot of times artists are pretty stubborn and we need to be told over and over and over and over and over to do something because we didn't do it the first 57 times. Okay, so I'm going to keep making these thumbnail videos until you make this a daily habit. You should always be doing thumbnail sketches because you never know what ideas these things are going to spring about. That's what's so much fun about it. It's fascinating. The other great thing about thumbnailing, and I've mentioned this before, is that even if you don't have a set project in mind right this second, like you're not even worrying about your portfolio, you're pretty content with it, you're happy with it. Well, actually, you should never be happy with your portfolio. But let's say that you're in a good place right now and you've revamped it. All the thumbnail sketches that you might be doing just for practicing could potentially lead to a big project later. So now you're building up your visual library of potential potential projects. And that's what's so cool about thumbnail sketching. The other thing is, and I have witnessed this in person, a lot of people that don't consider themselves artists start doing thumbnails for the very first time, and they end up loving drawing, something that they would never think about before. Especially if the YouTube algorithm brings you to my channel and you don't even know why you're watching me draw. You can't look away. That's fine. I embrace that. You're definitely welcome here. Even those of you that are not artists, you are definitely welcome here. And you're also welcome to our Discord. So check the link in the description below for our Discord, our Creature Design Workshop Discord. No, you don't have to just be a creature designer to be in there. But what is required to join our Discord is one simple thing. And that is, well, actually two. One being, you're a nice person. And two, you have a love for drawing. Those are the only requirements. If you can do those two things, you are definitely welcome. I think I'm going to try some oval shapes in here. Yeah, that's definitely sci-fi. It just looks like a little honeycomb spaceship. Okay, now we're putting some fun little details in there that are still quickly drawn. That's the thing about thumbnailing. If you time yourself 3 to 5 minutes for these little doodles, you can still achieve quite a bit within that time frame. But in order to achieve that, you have to move diligently from one shape to the next. So you can see that if I'm drawing on this shape and then I have more thumbnails on the page as the library grows, you might be able to see something on one that you didn't before. Like this one, I know that critter kind of looks like almost looks like a bulldog. So that'd be kind of neat with this large mouth right here full of gaping teeth. Kind of looks like the inside of the upper jaw to a leatherback sea turtle, which are terrifying. Either that or a lamprey, but both are crazy looking. Anyway, Google that. Google inside of the mouth on a leatherback sea turtle, and then look at the inside of the mouth on a lamprey. Nature's amazing. It's beautiful, it's terrifying, and you learn so much from it, especially if you want to be a creature designer. Okay, look how far along we've come, everyone. If you got your sketchbooks out right now and you're doodling, maybe you're sitting on a train, maybe you're on your lunch break inside of a car. You don't want to go back inside because you're drawing something you haven't drawn in years. That's okay. Tell your boss it's my fault, and we'll see what happens. Maybe you're coming to the realization right this second that you want to be a concept artist for games. Go right ahead. That'd be kind of cool, actually. You know, if you want to become a concept artist for games, you have to be able to thumbnail sketch. It's why I do it, but I also do it because I love it. It's got all these little shapes and doohickeys coming in here and strange, I don't know, tentacles. All of this stuff is just happening organically. But as I take a step back and I look at this, there are shapes emerging from those crisscrossy patterns that are actually kind of cool. So I'm just going to lightly shade in areas where I think a shadow could exist. Maybe like underneath this gigantic lobster-like leg. Maybe there's another leg out here. Thumbnails don't take up a lot of space either. I think that's why also they're so much fun to draw. They don't take up a lot of space. You can get a lot of ideas just on one page. See how I'm just going back and forth here? If you find yourself doodling on one of your thumbnails over and over and over again because you don't know why that you are drawn to it, but you just want to keep adding to it because it excites you, you really have something there. That's what I always tell my students who have trouble, narrowing down their choices for their projects, for my online creature design course, Creature Design for Film and Games, which you should check the link in the description below. Winter term just ended. It just ended on Friday. Early signups are going on for the next couple weeks for spring, and spots are limited. We only hold 20 spots. That's it, and you have to wait until the next term. So check the link in the description below if you want to sign up. There is time, and not only is it affordable, you get 8 full weeks of instructions. It's a lot of fun. Definitely check that out. I also run a mentorship. Please email me at bobbyrebholz@gmail.com for more information about that also. I teach people the basics. Basics. Yes, I teach people fancy stuff at all levels, but basically cubes, cones, cylinders, and spheres. Good line weight, line quality, perspective. All the stuff that you need to do that artists are just too stubborn to learn, I teach that. There we go. Just start scribbling some shapes together. See how I'm just going from one spot to the other? Like this one's super dark. It's almost like I'm writing an alien language. Believe it or not, all of that is going to turn into something. I don't know what it's going to turn in as. That's the fun part, but it will turn into something. And I'm willing to bet that some of you out there right now who are sketching along with me are coming up with ideas that you never thought possible. Seriously, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, proud of you. Proud of you for going this far. Especially if this session alone has gotten you out of your art block and you picked up that pencil for the first time in like 7-8 months. If you've done that, raise your hand, comment below. I love hearing people's stories. Success stories too. Ooh, you know what? Let's put some gills in here. Totally did not mean for this thing to be aquatic, but it is. Not only is it aquatic, it's pretty gross. That's awesome. Okay, we're going to keep some of these lines pretty light underneath here. I'm just turning the pencil over on its side. Did I just call it a pencil? I did. I'm turning the pen over on its side. Oh my gosh, it's getting late, folks. It's going on 9:30. I film all my videos at night, but I don't edit at night. Of course, I hardly edit my stuff anyway. I'll cut out like me sneezing and my freaking radiators going on and off, you know, because it's still cold out. But I get up really early in the morning and I like to edit my stuff because it helps me get my day started. You know, I get up at like 4:30 or 5 a.m. No joke. I'll get up early, drink a glass of water, have my pre-workout powder, which gives me like 300 milligrams of caffeine. I'll edit, and then I'll go to the gym. That's what I do. And then I come back and I design creatures for games. That's what I do during the day. But it helps me. Like, I love filming at night. I love making videos for you guys too. Those of you that have been subscribed to me for a while, you probably know that I've been, you know, making videos every single day now. That's what I've always wanted to do. It's just taken me about 1.5 to 2 years to figure out what schedules work for me, what videos are working for people. Can't please everybody, but I at least try to show you guys that there is light at the end of the tunnel. If you feel like you suck, you know, if you're depressed, if you got a lot of stuff going on in your life, drawing can help you in so many different ways. So many different ways drawing can help you. Let's go back to this one. I don't know what that is. You know, also, on a side note, just from me rambling and drawing, I had this idea of actually starting a new YouTube channel where I just narrate ghost stories. I love ghost stories. Like strange stories off Reddit. Tell me if you guys would support that. Just like really scary stuff. Just have people submit their stories and I'll read them with some scary music and, I don't know, creepy atmosphere. Okay, there we go. For crying out loud, look what I draw for a living. It would make sense that I would read scary stories too. I might even tell scary stories while I'm drawing this. I don't know how I would do that together. Maybe I can narrate ghost stories and just draw what's in the story. Ooh, that'd be crazy. There we go. Now we're really starting to get some cool stuff going on here. You see how these ballpoint pen markings are overlapping each other, and slowly but surely they are forming some pretty cool textures. So we're going to tackle these sketches down here a little bit differently. The darkened outlines on some of these, it was just me warming up, but it looks like my process kind of shifted, and this is what's cool about thumbnail sketching. Those of you doodling along with me, you're probably noticing the same thing. Every time that you complete a new row of thumbnail sketching, it's almost like your thought process changes and the way you apply pressure for whatever tool you're using. I've noticed that a lot, and my shapes will change too. Right now my pen strokes have gotten a lot lighter, they're a lot more controlled, and they're filling up smaller areas. I actually really like that. As you can tell, like everything is darkened up here. But I'm keeping everything really light and casual down here to the point where it looks like I might actually be shading more. And I'm totally for that. Looks like some big claws here. This almost looks like a giant brain over here. Maybe like a ship that looks like a big claw or a hand, almost like a turtle foot or a big fish or something. If you've enjoyed tonight's lesson, please comment below. Let me know if you'd like to see more of it. I try to do at least 1 or 2 of these thumbnail videos per week to try to get people out of their creative ruts. If you have been subscribed to my channel for a while and you've seen these, hopefully each new one sparks a new kind of interest. Maybe you're trying to get out of creative rut yourself, or maybe you just need that constant reassurance that you're going to be okay. When it comes to art, you're going to be okay. All right, if you're really down on the dumps right now and you guys feel like you suck, or if you feel like you're too old and you don't have enough time to catch up to the younger folks that are drawing well, I want you to know, by listening to my lecture, taking the steps to actually sketch along with me, you are already doing more work than most people that just sit and complain about not being good at art because they don't put in the work. Well, guess what? You stood up and you grabbed that sketchbook. So there's no excuses. There's absolutely no excuses. I've said this before. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Every single human being on this planet has the same 24 hours. The ones that are successful chose to be. The ones that are not complain that they're not. So, who are you going to be? You going to pick up that pen or pencil and draw, or are you just going to let it sit? Thank you for your support. I'll see you next time. Peace.